Welcome to that. Today we will be discussing Joe Rogan and why he might be willing to leave Spotify. $200 million contract. It's $200 million, right?
Yes, according to this. So I'm gonna read the headline. Joe Rogan threatens to quit his $200 million Spotify deal if he has to walk on eggshells and mind my P's and Q's. Following N-word and vaccine misinformation controversies, there's a quote right around here. I don't know if you want me to read it or you read it.
I'll read it. Hopefully I'm not too close to the screen. Okay. I will quit if it gets to the point that I can't do it anymore, where I have to do it in some sort of weird way where I walk on eggshells, Rogan replied. Huh.
Yes. So, quick question. Isn't he technically already doing that? Because there is a website called JRE Missing Episodes where it lists a bunch of episodes that have been pulled out of the podcast already. JRE Missing.
Okay. Does he own that? I didn't even know. I had no idea about it.
Oh, perfect. Oh, look at me being quick today. What the hell is going on? God bless America. Okay, so basically this gives you a list of Spotify episodes, and it actually tells you the date they were removed. So we got 1,458, Chris D'Elia, Jen Sad.
Yeah. I mean, Sad, something like that. But is this owned by Joe Rogan?
This is probably an independent. This is an independent website that was created to basically show the episodes they've been pulled. An interesting.
That's a lot of episodes.
An interesting observation that Tim Pool made. Credit to him.
113 episodes.
Yeah, on 13 episodes. So a quick observation that Tim Pool made. Let me just lift this up. If you notice the episodes. If you notice all the way at the bottom, the early episodes, you see how it's 4, 20, 21, 27, 40.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it's back to back, but it's because those are the early episodes of Joe Rogan where he was more wild. Mm-hmm. As in we go at the very, very top, when we go to the very top, you see it's like, 998.
It's more spread out, yeah.
More spread out. So, maybe Spotify didn't like his early episodes because they were a little bit wild. They were probably some of the N-word episodes. So those were taken out. And then as has he gotten more, you could say, professional, kind of, less episodes have been taken down. But there are episodes that are being taken down. So he is when you're regulating yourself, self-regulating?
Self-censoring?
He's self-censoring himself either way, don't you think?
Maybe, but I think maybe his censoring is coming from the fact he's getting older and being more mature, and he understands that the amount of money that he is potentially self-censoring for is FU money. Like he has, we're talking hundreds of millions. We're not just talking basic millions. We're talking hundreds of millions guaranteed. That's life-changing money, not just for him and his family, but his next family and the family after that. So I believe that he's looking at it in terms of that, like, if I have to piss off a couple of fans to make sure generations of my family will be set to go, so be it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do think that's kind of how I would view it. But I believe Joe could potentially be viewing it the exact same way. Do you think that if Joe leaves Spotify, do you think he goes back to YouTube?
I mean, where else can he go? But either way, but what is anywhere? I mean, he already established that wherever he goes, people are going to go follow, right? I mean, a lot of people were doubting the whole Spotify thing. Like, nobody would download Spotify just to listen to Joe Rogan, right? So he already proved that wrong. But where else can he go? He's going to go to Twitch. He's going to go to, if he goes back to YouTube, I think YouTube is even worse when it comes to censorship.
What about his own platform?
He could do that.
Or he makes his own podcast network.
He could do that.
Just purchase some servers and use those for the app.
But didn't you say that if he does that, he's reliable now for what he says? Didn't you say something along the line? Because I brought up
he could be the owner of the platform that's publishing, but he's not responsible for what other people publish on that app.
Well, this goes together with Elon Musk was tweeting. I don't know if you saw it, but Elon Musk was tweeting. He was basically talking about Twitter. How Twitter.
I think we'll do a separate video on Elon. I don't want to intertwine them too much because I do have some takes for the Elon video specifically to join it with this one, but on the Elon video itself.
So so let me leave that video separately. But do you think that maybe Joe Rogan and Elon Musk do something together then? I mean, we had the discussion before. I think
I can see it forming. The only thing I am concerned about when it comes to Elon and Joe to make this kind of system is how people invest into it, right? Like if it becomes a public company, they kind of lose control of it regardless. Right? Like don't get me wrong, like Elon has a good thing with Tesla, but he's been selling stocks and people are owning a lot of people. Board of directors are starting to own more and more of Tesla, right? Okay. So eventually he's gonna be, surrounded by other people that own the company, about not as much as he does, but closely enough about as much as he does that their say can affect what's going on over there. Excuse the stuttering. I'm gonna slow down a little bit.
I don't know if you heard this, but the Tesla stocks are splitting. That's a different conversation, but it goes to your point that since it's splitting, maybe he's going to lose less and less shares. So maybe he's not going to be that interested in doing something new.
Let's see. Because I do believe we'll go into when we talk about Elon, because I do have a couple of views about his tweets and whatnot. For right now, Joe, I think Joe can make a thing by himself. He can become a podcast network, especially since people are, I'm pretty sure Spotify, when they had Joe Budden, I think they dropped him and they bought a podcast network for about $200 million and brought a whole bunch of podcasts from another network over there, and now it's owned by Spotify. So I do think Spotify wants to play ball. I'm not sure if I'm Spotify right now, I don't get rid of Joe in the first place. I find a way to hold on as long as I can, because people are not going to care after a certain point, right? There's a lot of heat on him right now because of the whole COVID thing that's going on, but the whole COVID thing that's going on is dying out. Yeah. So they can't keep up this fake outrage for that much longer, right?
I mean, there's no longer an outrage just disappeared. Will Smith is the hot topic for like the next.
And I agree. Like Joe isn't as much a hot topic as he was a couple months ago.
Yeah, a month ago.
Right. But he will be eventually, because this is midterm season, so people are trying to get voted in for the midterms, and if Joe has any controversial guests that can sway millions of people to vote a specific way, I see that happening, and I see people not liking the fact that he can swing things like that. He has a lot of power, and it's not power; it's power that's granted to him by viewers. And legacy media, in my opinion, does not like this, and they will look for any way to attack him.
Let me act. I'm Spotify. Let's just say Spotify comes to you, they pilot that. We're on Spotify. He's talking about that. If he continues having to watch himself, he's gonna leave. So let me be Spotify, and I'm gonna push you. I'm gonna try to censor you, and I want to see where's the line you're gonna draw, right? Imagine Spotify offers you a deal. Where's the line where you're going to be like, you're censoring to me too much, right? If I go up to you on Spotify and I go, Sam, no more LGBT topics. None.
Why? Why? A lot of this breaks down to the why.
Okay. You get a similar backlash from employees going wild and screaming, and too much negative attention to Spotify. Let's just say our stock is being impacted. I tell you, I don't want you to talk about the LGBT no more. Can you do that? Is that a red line you cross? Are you like?
I would say, if you're attempting to stop me from speaking openly about any topic because of other employees, and if other employees don't like my me exercise my free speech, you either one, fire these employees, get them out of here. Two, start training new employees, or I guess more of a step process. For step one, get rid of those employees, or start training new employees. Get rid of the employees and install the new employees so you don't have that issue anymore. Two, if this is an issue, and you're attempting to stop my free speech, I want you to understand that I will take this to court if it needs to be, or you drop me. It's one of those two things. If you continue to pull my content from Spotify, you should allow me to upload my content anywhere else I want to.
What if?
Because I can't exclusively upload to Spotify. That some of my content can't be uploaded onto Spotify. So any content that cannot be exclusively uploaded onto Spotify, I'm free to upload anywhere I want.
Okay. What if I go to you and I tell you, okay, fine, I'll give you that. Certain guests, I want you to limit their time on the podcast, right? Like, let's just say Jordan Peterson. Sometimes he gets in trouble from they don't like him. You know how they are. They go up to you and tells you, I don't want you to have a 4-hour episode on Jordan Peterson.
You can't do that.
Can you have a 30-minute episode?
It's so the same thing. I'm like, and this is, I believe this is what Joe should do. Any podcast that is not allowed to be on your platform, I get to post anywhere else. And you watch how the pressure comes. Because really what comes from there is like, oh, wow. So you're saying if I don't put this here, I can splinter the group that you're bringing here, and they can be somewhere else, and that's money, they want to they don't want to lose.
Yeah, I don't want to lose that money,
right? Cause we're talking tens of millions of people that tune into that podcast. That's tens of millions of people that are spending $10-15 for Spotify monthly. That's millions of bucks. Just every month.
So your line is whenever they prohibit you from either exercising your free speech or having conversations with people, that's the line you're not willing to cross.
No, I'm saying that if they were to put that line in front of me, I understand there might be legal ramifications for anything that Joe does if he tries to leave. Like, he might end up losing more money than he earned in the first place. Like, it's really expensive to deal with these litigation issues. So I'm saying if I'm Joe, I tell Spotify, well, my deal is to upload my content exclusively here, and you're taking it off, which means that you're saying this content is not allowed on your platform, which means this content is mine and I'm free to do with it as I please.
Okay.
It's that simple.
Okay. And you're almost not going to give any ground, basically.
Like, yeah, you're giving ground, because leaving Spotify, though I would like to say that Joe should do it, I'm sure there's reasons that he can't. When you sign for that amount of money, there's a lot of things to tie you down. There's a lot of chains that keep you in place, right? So it might be a lot harder to just leave than we think it is. So with that being said, I'm thinking that you need to splinter your worth from there somewhere else and give fans the option to absorb whatever they want to absorb whenever they want to absorb it. If they want to absorb the regular content on Spotify, by all means. If they want to absorb your more controversial topics that Spotify doesn't want to take, maybe YouTube doesn't want to take, maybe whoever else doesn't want to take, you can make any social media platform popular like this with one post. So just like that. And
he will get a lot of attention from it.
He will get a lot of attention, especially if they see a podcast uploaded on another site. That site immediately gets tens of millions of new listeners, and the legacy media would make it bigger. So even that platform will grow even more.
Yeah, so they report it over and over again. So I'm just gonna add this. The quote that we read, I don't know in what context it was said. So I don't know if Joe Rogan was having a conversation and he was just like, boy, if they continue, like if they censor me too much, or then I'll leave. F that. Or was he like that serious, having a serious conversation, right? Because that matters, right? But I'm just gonna add that to that. But that's basically it. I mean, he's been censoring himself a little bit. He's not as outrageous. And I mean, you even saw the conversation he had with Jordan Peterson, where you even saw that he was kind of pushing back and trying to correct a lot of things ahead of time.
He was pushing. Well, I don't want to say he was correcting it. I want to say that
clarifying.
I don't even say clarifying. Jordan Peterson has a tendency to speak in metaphors and analogies, right? And what I believe Joe was doing was trying to push on those analogies and metaphors that they virtually mean nothing in terms of the real world. But I think the issue with Joe is the issue that was going on with Joe at that moment is that he wasn't seeing lessons within the analogies or lessons within the metaphors. That he was trying to approach it from a realist standpoint on why these ideas don't work. And I think Jordan was like, sure, it's fair. I understand what you're trying to say, but I'm showing that this metaphor it's not an exact one-to-one, but if you look at it in terms of personality, it kind of matches up. I think he gave a good thing where it was like, so who is more smarter, the squirrel that saves up all winter for the harsh summer to come up or whatever they can eat or whatever, or the praying mantis that eats immediately, like he's rushing to eat, right? And I think Joe is like, well, that means nothing when you're a human and you have nothing in the first place. But I think what Jordan was trying to get across was two personality types. One person that saves for the future no matter what, and one person that's always trying to eat no matter what, right? Now, in times of peace, the person that's always trying to eat is the person that's going to rise to the top because nothing's in their way. Nothing's in their way. They're going to keep going, right? But in times but the same times of peace, they have nothing when times of war come. But when times of war come, the person that saved and put things away has more resources. So in two different circumstances, these personality types would be hyper effective, right? But I think Joe's trying to push against these analogies as if there wasn't some type of grains of truth when it comes to humans. But that's neither here or there.
So you don't think he was trying to like avoid any problems with Spotify because Jordan Peterson is there, so he wants to show that he was pushing back and he was trying to clarify things. You don't think it was that? You think it was just Joe Rogan just being Joe?
I think that Joe has a viewpoint with a lot of humanist issues that exist, or humane issues that exist within the world. And he doesn't like when people try to break those ideas down to analogies and stories or whatever, because he looks at these problems as real serious problems. And he's very liberal minded in his viewpoints. So he doesn't like the whole, no, I want it should be done this way, because why isn't it done this way at times? And but I think you have anything else to add about the whole Joe Rogan situation?
No. I mean, again, I don't know the context in which he said it. I don't think he's going to leave anytime soon. I don't think Spotify is going to let him go that easily. And I don't think, Spotify has been, I don't think they have been I guess they haven't been overbearing. Like, they haven't been trying to censor every guest that he has that we know of.
Yeah.
Right? I think they've been pretty reasonable. Even with the whole
for the most part,
yeah, I think they've been pretty reasonable. So let's see how that ends. But I know
man, this has been Lidat. Hope you guys like, subscribe, and share. I do hope Joe finds the most fortuitous path in the future for his brand, for his fans, and for his family. But his family's first. So I said that not in order. Catch you guys later. Peace out.